at the sound, look at this. Oh, let them hear this.
Which is a love child of the Land Rover Defender and the G-Wagon.
In the world full of electric vehicles, you are driving a diesel car here.
So Ineos is actually a chemical company, not a car company.
Honestly, I really like the fact that it has so many buttons and
It feels like an airplane cockpit. You have all the buttons.
This thing right here doesn't care about sensors, touchscreen and other tech gadgets. But this thing only care about rocks, river, where all the SUVs normally cry.
This is Saleh and Sabi, two guys on a mission to drive the fastest and the most exciting cars in the world. On today's episode, what we have may not be the fastest, but I might be able to guarantee you that this could be one of the most rock hard, back to basic type of off-roads on the market currently. This right here is the Ineos Grenadier, which is a love child of the Land Rover Defender and the G-Wagon.
So Ineos is actually a chemical company, not a car company. So how did they come up with this? So what happened actually, when the old Defender went soft, techie, luxurious, so Jim Radcliffe, who is actually a hardliner adventurer, he said that I want a real deal. I want a real off-roader. So in the pub named Grenadier, Sir Jim Radcliffe came up with the idea that he will build an off-roader, a hardliner off-roader.
So the goal that Sir Radcliffe had in mind was to go back to the basics of off-roading and build something which is durable and not as soft as what the competition is building these days. So this car was designed in the UK, developed in Germany, and then finally put into production in France. It really is true European teamwork. For one mission, go anywhere. Let's start off by breaking down this beast's exterior. From the get-go, right under me, you see that it has circular LED headlights with built-in DRLs.
And which is pretty much similar to G-Wagon. It gives this DRL thing, which is very similar to G-Wagon.
So that's what it gets from its mother, the G-Wagon. These are the main headlights, but this is what you get for the off-road as your fog lamps or whatever you want to call it. These orange indicators on the side are a throwback to the military style old school 4x4.
The bumper is not some decorative plastic piece, but it is actually very hard steel inside, winch ready, very good for off-road modes.
And also for running people over if you want to just make sure that the people don't survive. Then you can have these steel covered bumpers.
101 reason not to hear this guy.
It's up to you, it's a personal opinion.
Now come around the side, you got this boxy silhouette. It's flat, it's edgy, and then you have these practical rails going on where you can put everything, but you can put lights, you can put solar panel, you can put, even when it's raining and you don't want to put your stuff inside and it's wet, you can hold them here. These rails are quite practical actually. And then you have these utility rails going along the roof, which are quite practical, where you can strap your gear, you can strap your tent, you can strap your whatever your expedition calls for.
Or you can strap up your homie and he can hang while you drive.
Yeah, you can do that
if you want.
Look at the side skirt, which is solid metal, and you have seen Sabi jumping on it. So yeah, it's quite good.
And then there's the roof itself, completely flat, reinforced, and strong enough to stand on, or maybe even lay on, just like I am. Even the rain gutters are designed to route water properly when you're out camping and it rains a lot. So the fender flares are chunky and modular, made to be replaced easily when you smash into things. 17 or 18-inch wheels wrapped in BF Goodrich tires, as good as the quality gets. These tires are perfect for trails, and behind them is underbody protection for the fuel tank and the differential.
So underneath the massive bonnet, there is a big inline-six BMW turbocharged engine, which produces around 286 horsepower and 450 Newton meter of torque, and has a speed limit of 160 kilometer. And it is not made for the speed. So it has a lot of power.
Even the doors are designed to open super wide. The structure of the doors really feels military-like because they close really solid. It's got the handles all over so you can grip yourself while getting in and out of the car. So you get rear corner protection bars. You get a spare tire on the back door which fully opens up. And not just that, you have the option of having a ladder in your car for rooftop access. Voila!
So talking about the practicality of this car, it has a massive storage capacity of around 1200 liters, and the rear seat, when they are actually rolled down or the folded, it gives you around 2000 liters.
2000 liters of capacity. You can sit here. You got place for your hooks. You got place to tow your car. You got place to connect a trailer to your car.
Let's fit inside.
There's even like these hooks where you can tie your stuff. Let's say if you're even like transporting something, you can tie them down to next to this. Seats can be folded, obviously. As you see on the back side, there's an extra spare tire. What you don't see in this model is that usually you can also find storage space inside of this tire. Unfortunately, the model that we have doesn't have this option.
As we said, it has a split tailgate, but one thing which I actually observed when I was driving this car, because of this thing, my visibility was stopped like 20%.
Yeah, I noticed this also when I drove here.
Actually, on this side, you have a tire, and at the back, you have a wiper. But on this side, there's no wiper. And the one other thing that what I know is actually these both sides are electronically heated. So that's a good point from both seats. And if you get above it, you can just climb the ladder, and it is like this.
Get on top of it.
Yeah.
Taillights pretty, decent looking. LEDs, rounded taillights. If you look at the silhouette, obviously it reminds you more and more of a Defender. I really like this spec actually with the yellow color and the green. Everything still at the back is really rock solid. Now we're going to show you what it looks like from the inside. All right, so when you step inside of the Ineos Grenadier, the first thing you notice is that there's no fancy ambient lighting like all of these soft-ass Mercedes cars that you see on the market these days. Hard plastics everywhere, a lot of grabbable handles, a lot of solid and actually very spacious storage spaces. My most favorite features on the Ineos Grenadier are these safari roofs on both the driver and passenger side, which can be opened up. Gives you a sky view. They're tinted, but again, really nice. You do not have a physical gauge cluster in front of your steering wheel. Yeah, you just have digital warning lights here in the middle. So the infotainment system is divided into two sections. The left side, you can look at the speed, off-roading, and all these metrics. And on the right side, you can control the multimedia. And another interesting feature on the Ineos is that this is the normal horn. But if you don't want to give somebody a heart attack like a pedestrian or something, then you can go for the toot horn, which sounds like this. It's kind of more subtle. I find it personally better. It's got Recaro seats, which are waterproof. It also has a flat bottom. And the best part about this bottom is that if your car happens to fill up with water or mud, it's got holes that you can unplug and drain everything out of the car. You can literally wash the car from inside and it won't have an issue.
At the rear side, you have a lot of headroom, legroom, footroom. You sit quite up straight. What I actually miss is I think there could be here some mesh-like material which allows you to pull things. I don't know, it's missing. Then you have a climate ventiles here. And at the side, you see there's like the Alpine sound system, which is not the best one, but it is good.
This is the Ineos Grenadier, and you're watching the Speedster Syndicate.
In the world full of electric vehicles, you are driving a diesel car here.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's made for.
No lane departure assistant, nothing extra, no extra sensor.
Yep.
Only those things which
But this is
are
not
essential.
made for the. This is not made for the city streets. It's made
Yes.
for the
Off-roading.
off-roading. It's made to be hard and durable.
Yes.
But honestly, I really like the fact that it has so many buttons and
It feels like a
airplane cockpit. You have all the buttons. Okay, that's one thing I was thinking while sitting inside. We normally, it has so many buttons here, but still it does not have all the functionality. You still have to go to the infotainment system and select some. We normally complain that there are so many, like we need buttons. So even if the car manufacturers try to put buttons on, they still have to put, because of so many functionalities nowadays, you have to put, and you have to bring it back, bro. Seriously.
Obviously you have to, but like
No, it's completely different. The drive is completely
you
different.
cannot handle it like a
Another car. No, you have to bring it back.
You've
That-
not driven the old Land Cruiser, right?
No, of course
That's
not.
why probably you're not used to it. Because in that car also you have to bring it back.
Yeah, of course, that's what off-roaders are meant for. But nowadays, when you are driving now, there's so many electronically controlled steering and cars, electronically controlled.
Everything is electronic.
Electronically controlled, so you forget kind of, bringing it back.
Despite the size of the car, and despite being so big, I think the dimensions are generally bigger than that of a G-Wagon or a Defender, and it even looks physically bigger. But while driving it, I realized that it felt kind of nimble. Like it didn't feel like, for example, if you drive a Toyota Hilux or something, a Vigo, it feels like you're steering around a big thing everywhere.
Yeah.
But in this thing, it didn't feel like, I'm moving something really gigantic. It felt like the car was really, the steering wheel was responsive to the movements.
You are sitting on a high board, a 90-degree screen in front of you, kind of a 90, not 100% 90, but still a 90, and you can see till the end of your bonnet.
Actually, this is so good that, even while sitting in a big car, you can see all your corners.
Yes, that's
Because the center of the bonnet is more lifted, but the sides are lower. So if you look at it as a driver or even as a passenger, your view is really clear.
yeah.
If you look at the rear mirrors, like I think the accessibility of this car.
The visibility of the
Visibility.
driver, the visibility of the whole car is great.
Yeah, because you can all the windows, everything. You
windows
can
are
see
there.
all the angles. These
Yeah.
pillars are not so
Okay.
wide.
One thing while driving, I just noticed it has two doors at the back. So there's a big pillar in between that splits two doors.
Which
So
two doors?
it has at the back two doors actually, and
Yeah, we just opened those.
yeah. So when I am seeing as a driver, so that split hinder my visibility. You don't.
Okay.
So actually, that pillar, I have to. Yeah. So that pillar takes a lot of section of your rear view. That's one thing I just noticed. I was just trying to, not panic people, but if they're a cyclist, you have a different kind of horn for that, and it's written toot. And for normal, if you want to, shock people.
So there's a
Notice.
normal horn and there's a toot horn. Normal horn is for more like cars and stuff, and a toot horn is more for pedestrians and stuff.
It feels good, yeah. It's good to be back in old school kind of a stuff.
That's true.
That's great. You also have all the button. You have these pillars around the hazard button so that you don't press it, but it doesn't actually hinder it. But yeah, you don't press it by mistake.
So do you think we will also press this by mistake?
These pillars, actually, these small pillars around it, it's for that.
Okay, but
You don't press
my
the
finger
hazard
can
button.
still go like this.
Yeah.
If you're putting the
if
gear.
you are, you can, of course, but you are not putting the gear. It's an automatic. It's a okay.
Actually,
one
there
thing.
is a manual shifter for the off-roading,
Yeah, that's an off-roader,
but it doesn't collide
Yeah.
with this one.
but that auxiliary buttons. Actually, you have the wiring all over.
No, because this says 500A, 25A.
That's an ampere.
Listen
the
to
current.
this. Listen to this.
Yeah, but that's a auxiliary switches. You have the switches where you can just put your whatever you want to put, lights, whatever you
Yeah,
want.
that's what I'm saying.
And it will
that
give auxiliary
this
switches.
is
are
basically
these.
the power for the switches, no?
Yeah, auxiliary
That's
switches for power. It's look great. It's look great. You have here the differential lock, front, rear. You
This
can
is
lock
actually
them.
very beneficial,
Yeah, of
for
course.
off-roading.
Yeah. Oh, they have the whole off-road mode. You have
Oh,
off-road.
I
you
didn't.
have
I don't.
wading.
You know what wading is?
Yeah, wading is like I know.
It can float on water.
Oh man. Okay.
I didn't know. I
Oh.
personally didn't know that the Ineos has this feature because the BYD Sea Lion has this feature,
Mm-hmm.
and they said that the Tesla Cybertruck also has this feature, but it's not as effective.
Yeah, we have to check how much degree it can go.
And yeah, how much deep it can go, or
What's the degree of the inclination?
I think it can't
Yeah.
really probably can't actually float. Maybe it can just go in deep waters. And if you want an example of what not to do while driving on the roads, let me
We
show
can
you.
give you an example. That person is actually. So please don't do this.
Yeah, look at this. The police will not be happy to see this.
Not the
So-
police. Oh, there's a dog also inside,
Oh,
and
there's
there's a kid also inside.
Yeah, please don't drive like this. Otherwise, other people will be unsafe, and we don't like being unsafe.
And there's a kid who is interested in our car actually. He's looking.
Is he?
Yeah, he's looking like whole way back.
Hello, man. This is an Ineos Grenadier.
You have a front differential lock, rear differential lock buttons. Then you can see there's the measurement of the car is already written here. So if you have kind of an idea, you want to have an idea while
Pass through
driving.
tight spaces and stuff, you know, like how much you can.
How big, and these auxiliary switches, we talked about it already. And in front of that, then you have exterior lighting, extra exterior lighting if you want to switch them on and off. And then on the assistance you can have ESC off, and the other side you have a downhill assistance. So yeah, it has a lot of buttons that I am loving about. Then you have an emergency call button in between.
Oh,
Yeah.
turns out there's a lot of ports over here. There's a 12-volt charging port for your laptop. Except for that, there's a USB-C and there's also Type-C.
You know what is this key for? To lock it.
And yeah, this actually comes with a lock. I didn't realize this, but you can.
Physically lock it.
I'll just show you really quick. So you can use it. You can be a bit careful while accelerating, and then you can use this. Put it inside this thingy, and you know how to lock stuff. You know. I think the camera changed again.
Yeah, driving so many electric cars, driving other kind of cars, and
Honestly, this feels so good.
This is so good. This is so good. Like
Yeah.
honestly, when I'm driving it, it's look like I'm more connected to the car. The car is going where I want it to go. It's not like
I mean, it's not so mobile. I wouldn't say it's so, like smaller cars usually are, that you can take corners and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
not so agile, I think. But it's not made to be agile. It's not supposed to be so agile. It's supposed to be durable.
Yeah. And while I'm driving this, I'm just loving the fact that this is not telling me, you are going above the line. Yeah, there's no lane departure system, which is keep hindering me when
It
I'm
keeps
driving.
beeping all the
Yeah.
time. No fancy lights.
Nothing.
Blinking here.
Only one thing, which is telling me if I go above the speed limit. It tells
But
me
that's not
most of
so
the time.
bad. I mean, it's
Yeah,
alright
that's-
too sometimes.
We can live with it.
Can we turn it off actually, or is it?
I think that we can turn it off. I'm not sure, but we
This
can
we'll
turn it
have
off.
to. This we'll have to check if we can turn this off.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, the sound. Look at this.
Oh,
Let them hear this.
no hate for electric car lovers, but beat this sound.
Oh man, music to the ears. So all in all, a starting price of the Ineos Grenadier is around 70,000 euros. It's got two major variants. So this variant is the station wagon, and the other one is known as the Quartermaster. And the Quartermaster is even more equipped to be outdoors because the back end of it is fully open.
More of a pickup truck.
It's kind of like a pickup truck. Actually, yeah, it is pretty much a pickup truck,
Yeah.
but the back is kind of still open.
And this is more kind of, SUV kind
This
of
is
a
more
stuff.
SUV.
Let's put this car on Mashallah Meter and see how does it rank. Let's talk about the Ineos Grenadier on the Mashallah Meter. Looks 8 out of 10. It's a box, but not just any box. This one looks like it was drawn with a ruler and built with a wrench. Pure purpose, zero fluff. It's got scars, bolts and brawn. Price 7 out of 10. Not cheap, starts around 74,000 euros, and that's before options. But you are buying hardware, not software. It's expensive, honestly. Performance 9 out of 10. 3 locking differentials, full-time 4-wheel drive, and a ladder frame that eats boulders for lunch. It's not fast, but off-road, it's unstoppable. Mashallah, this thing is a mountain goat in army boots. Mashallah, The Grenadier is not pretending to be rugged, it is rugged and gets a final score of 24 out of 30. Built for people who don't need a valet, they need a winch.
Bottom line for today is that this car is not made for luxury. It's made for going out of bound, it's made for going in the wild, and it's made to make sure that you enjoy your time while you're out there. The G-Wagon is more luxury focused. The Defender is still a better mix of luxury and off-roading ability, but this one I would say is definitely excelling when it comes to raw and unfiltered off-roading experiences. So on that note, we would like to thank Matska Ineos Grenadier, Cologne, Germany, for providing us with this car. It was an amazing day. And if you like this video, drop a like on the video. If you like fast cars, big cars, fat cars, slow cars, track cars, off-road cars, any sort of cars in general, then keep on following two guys on a mission to drive the fastest and the most exciting cars in the world.
And on that note, stay fast, stay loud. Speedsters out.